The report has been concluded by the Office of Special Counsel, and the recommendation of the Office of Special Counsel is that you be given the maximum possible penalty for violating the Hatch Act, which would be a firing. Now, people could disagree with the report, they could disagree with the recommendations. The President will make his own decision. Ms. Doan, I want to ask you about just conflicting statements that you seem to be making quite frequently, and I'm using that present tense, but it's also past. When you testified before our committee at our March hearing, you repeatedly claimed you could not recall any information about the January 26, 2007 meeting or the White House political presentation, and you had absolutely no memory of asking GSA employees how they could help Republican candidates in upcoming elections. That's what you told us. And we questioned you over and over again. You remember there were cookies. You remember you came in late. You remember that some employees didn't attend. But beyond that, you told us you had no further information. Five weeks later, you testified before the Office of Special Counsel, and suddenly you had a new and rich details about the meetings in your statements. According to your OSC testimony, you said you asked the White House presenter, how can GSA help its cabinet liaison understand that the opening of the San Francisco Federal Building would be a perfect event for President Bush to attend? Did you say that to the Office of Special Counsel?
Yes, I believe I did.
You also told them that Mr. Jennings suggested you write a white paper or a one-pager explaining why it would be relevant for the President to attend. But you didn't tell that to our committee. During your interview with the OSC, you testified you'd refrain from providing this committee with full information about the meeting. You testified that you were advised not to engage in a, quote, substantive discussion, end quote, of the political briefing, that you believed OSC investigators should have, quote, first dibs on this information. That makes it sound like when you told us you didn't recall, you were really holding back information. You did tell us under oath that you didn't remember, and then you told the special counsel under oath that you did remember, and you were even saving the information for him. When you appear before this committee and you testify under oath, you're supposed to testify honestly and completely. That's an obligation that people have, and it's to be taken seriously. And I put that out there. Then the last time you testified before this committee, several members expressed concern about the veracity of your responses. Reading the report of the Office of Special Counsel, it looks like they shared that concern as well. You told the Office of Special Counsel that one of the many reasons you could not recall Mr. Jennings' PowerPoint presentation was that you were using your BlackBerry. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And then the Office of Special Counsel did something that I find a little surprising, but makes sense. They asked you to turn over your BlackBerry. And they looked at the documents to see whether it corroborated that you were using your BlackBerry. And they said that you provided no documents to corroborate that you, quote, read, sent, composed, deleted, or moved any emails during that January 26, 2007 meeting.
That was one of the critical omissions that I've mentioned throughout this hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Mm-hmm. That
they omitted to mention that there were 220 emails in my inbox, and as I said in my testimony, I think my direct statement was that I was reviewing emails during that time and looking up occasionally is what I actually said to the OSC.
Now, another allegation made against you was that after the White House presentation, you asked how to get a prominent Republican like Senator Martinez to attend a courthouse opening in Miami. When OSC asked you about this allegation, you said you don't believe there was ever a discussion of Miami at all at the meeting. Not at all, you said. But then we had 10 GSA officials testify under oath that they remembered the discussion of the Florida courthouse in your statement about getting Senator Martinez to attend the event. Well, there's also the question of, you said you thanked Mr. Jennings when he got there and you left. But then others testified, including your own GSA liaison, that that's J.B. Horton, that he told OSC investigators you gave Mr. Jennings a tour of your office and even showed him artwork displayed there. You told Mr. Tierney that you didn't have control over any bonuses, so you couldn't retaliate. Mr. Yarmouth indicated you could give bonuses. You said you were pleased to know that. But I want to include in the record a memo from the White House on March 29, 2002. It says to clarify the political appointees are eligible for performance-based awards, and I ask you personally to review any awards proposed for political appointees. So you didn't know the statute, but you did presumably get this memo, so it seems to me that you remember things selectively. And,
Mr. Chairman, there is a difference between a performance-based bonus, a spot award, an individual award, a group award, and an organization award. I believe Congressman Yarmouth actually talked about spot awards in his dialogue, but I think we'd have to check the record, but that was my understanding. He was talking about spot awards.
Well, the testimony before the Office of Special Counsel is they will not get any of these promotions. They will not get any of these bonuses. Well, you knew you had some control over some of them, and those were the bonuses that it appears you weren't going to give them.
I think what we talked about was one or two. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. I would like to mention one other thing, though, Congressman, and that is that in our hearing on the 28th, I believe a lot of the dialogue and the discussion centered around the presentation itself, and was that what I remembered? And Congressman Braley actually was the person who was asking me this question, and so I think we would need to look at which part of that we were talking about.
Thank you.
My memory is you looked a little guilty, and you said, I just am embarrassed, but I can't remember any of these things. That's my memory. Mr. Shays, it's your time.